Hello everyone, I am Afro Luigi and welcome back, well, not welcome back to, this will be my first time playing, well, first time recording playing of, you can't tell, there's no title screen here unfortunately, but Rover Mechanic Simulator. And we're just going to create a new profile. There we go. So, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a simulator game where you play a mechanic on Mars, fixing rovers. So we're going to read through this tutorial mission. Since you are quite a fresh engineer, you have to complete special introduction missions to learn the ropes. Follow steps like this, and you will learn more about working as a rover mechanic. Some of the steps, including this one, may contain multiple messages. Press D to view them. I thought I changed this. Press D to view the next message. If you don't know what to do next, just look for such markers. They show your current objective and help you keep track of your tasks. You can always press 4 to toggle the objectives panel in the top right corner of the screen. Use it to check on the details of your current task. Your mouse cursor changes depending on whether or not you're looking at an interactable object. The crossed out circle means you can't interact with the object. Maybe you haven't unlocked it yet, or maybe you don't meet the requirements to start an interaction. A slightly transparent dot means that there's no object to interact with in your reach. A fully visible dot means that you can interact with the object you are looking at. The aforementioned side panels help you keep track of your current tasks, objectives, key bindings, and part collecting logs. To show hide side panels, press 4, 5, or 6. Okay. Did I change? Okay, my change controls did save. Interesting drones we got out there. So let's get into the main bay. I want to say this is another thing that doesn't update the little tooltip based on your mouse settings, because I have my mouse set up left-handed. So for you guys, it'd be your right mouse button. Actually, it still is my right mouse button, but I have it set up as a left mouse button. Anyways, before I get into the tutorial, a little bit of a story time. I'm not sure if I've gone over this story before or not, but I figure now is as good a time as any. So way back in 2009, 2010, I was enrolled at a university for physics, in particular astrophysics, because I wanted to work in the space program, in the Canadian space program. I had no idea where, in what form I wanted to be, whether it was computers, the actual physics of it, engineering. I didn't know yet. I ended up settling on. Every time I learned something more about physics, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. Like I went to a particle accelerator in Vancouver, and I fell in love with that, and which just got me interested in nuclear science. I've done a lot of reading since, but there was a problem. Public school in Canada despite pressure from my family to get me tested, I was never diagnosed with how close is this actually right up against it? No, it doesn't. I was never diagnosed with dyslexia, which through high school didn't impact. Well, it impacted me a little because basically in grade 7 or 8, I was in a math class, and I did a number line, and basically, okay, so let's use this this as the example. No, is there a good example here somewhere? I might have to put it up on the screen. But anyways, basically is when most people do number lines, positive goes to the right. Actually, I better double check this. I should have looked this up beforehand. I didn't actually know I was going to tell this story until I started. So let me just bring up. I'll put up a picture, but just for my story times, just so I can keep this straight. I'll do this. Come on. That's not a line. There we go. Here we go. Nice simple one. So the way you guys do number lines is positive numbers go to the right. So moving from left to right, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you want to do negatives, it goes -5, -4, -3, -2, etc., etc. That's from left to right. When I do number lines, I do them going from left to right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1. So I have my negative numbers on the right, where you guys have your positive numbers. That was my first time my dyslexia impacted me in math. It was back in middle school. This caused... I didn't realize it. The teacher didn't tell me I was doing it. The way I figured that out is I was helping one of my friends. I was helping her with her number lines, so because she was having trouble understanding it, and she looked at me and kind of goes, "Luigi." She no, but she actually used, I think she used my real name, probably. I had the nickname Luigi back then too, so she might have actually called me Luigi. So that's technically accurate. She goes, "Luigi, your number line's backwards." And I'm like, "No, it's not." And she pointed out the example on the board. I looked at the example. I looked at what I was doing. I was looking at what I was showing her, and I'm like, "Oh crap, it is." So I go up to the teacher and I ask him, "So I just learned I've been doing my number lines backwards. Has that been causing problems for my grades?" He said, "No, I figured it out." So rather than helping me and realizing I was having problems, they just kept marking me. And this continued through high school. But the problem is it's fine for simple things like simple graphs, number lines, and stuff like that. But when I got to university, my mind didn't do math the way everyone else's did. So I couldn't learn. I couldn't understand calculus. The way they taught it to me made no sense to me. And I was smart enough in high school that I could just kind of coast by and get high C's, C pluses, and B's. And I got into university, and I immediately started flunking all my classes because I went in physics, I took chemistry, I took all these classes, and they all relied on calculus. And I couldn't understand calculus. And since I was never diagnosed with dyslexia, and I didn't realize, and at the time, I didn't realize it was my dyslexia causing my problems. I thought I wasn't smart enough. Despite the fact I knew how the physics and how the chemistry of what I was doing was working, I just couldn't do the math. So this caused me to flunk out. And thankfully that didn't kill my interest in astrophysics, because that's really what I wanted to do. So I figured I could, and which is also why I also really like science fiction games. I love Star Trek. You guys see me in extra playing the X Universe series, Homeworld. I'm a huge sci-fi fan, and I figured we should follow it up by an actual simulator game. Something fairly realistic, as I understand it. They simplified some of the stuff, but most of it's fairly accurate from what I understand. To the point where it's a video game, and video games can't do everything right without grinding your computer to a halt. So, let's collect the tools and get started. Alright, the PCB table. Use the PCB table to find out which components of printed circuit boards are damaged so you can replace them. Remember that you don't always have to 3D print specific PCB components if you want to avoid too much work. You can also print an entire PCB, but this is of course a more expensive solution. Okay, so I just wandered around the room. One thing I should follow up is I have actually considered getting diagnosed with dyslexia, getting those certifications, and actually going back, not straight to university, but going to college, learning calculus in a more casual environment. I have considered it. On the other hand, I'm happier where I am now. I don't think I'd be quite as satisfied with my life if I had gone into physics. I like where I work. I like the people I meet. I like being in... I work at an event facility. I like being behind the scenes, running computers, doing IT. I'm happy there, so it's a low priority. I might someday, but it's not high up. I'd much rather focus on my job, getting more IT certifications under my belt, which I'm working on, as well as save enough to get myself my own place. I want to buy a house, despite how shitty the economy here in Canada, especially British Columbia, is for buying houses. I do want to do that. So I am happy. I wasn't for a very long time. I wouldn't even talk about the fact I flunked out of university for years. I would tell people I decided to switch majors because because I would say, oh, it turns out it wasn't really for me, and I ended up bouncing around a little. But I'm much happier now. I'm not ashamed to admit I flunked. I actually admitted it at my high school reunion, much to the shock of everyone at my reunion. They all thought I would have mastered it and got into it. No. But I'm happy, so don't worry too much about my dyslexia and flunking university. It was upsetting at the time, but I've moved on and I've grown. I'm much happier now. Anyways, story time's over. Let's get back to the game. So let's learn about the radio. It's just a digital radio. As much as you have absolutely no use for it while repairing rovers, it is still a pretty neat device that can easily brighten your mood. Click the left mouse button to enter the radio menu, select a station that you wish to listen to, and let your hair down a little. My hair doesn't go down. I have an Afro. It goes up. Tip. The previous mechanic that worked in this hangar dropped the radio and broke it. It seems fine, but she says it's not. Maybe you can take a glimpse into it and see what the problem is. Alright, so let's go look at this thing. What is this thing? Rover Configurator. That word doesn't seem right. Anyways, with the help of this device, you can configure ECUs of the rovers you repair. Every time you finish the job, you have to plug the wireless configurator into the rover and use the rover ECU configurator, to reset the system. The MCU. This device is the main control unit of your hangar. Use it to operate the gantry and play retro video games if you have any. The MCU's OS is a Martian distribution of Linux. I'm playing it. Awesome. The sudo doesn't work on Mars, of course. And next thing, minigame resource. Each play of one of the installed games will allow you to obtain additional resources. The amount of resources you will be able to get while playing will depend on your final score. 3D printing. Use the 3D printer to print new components and parts that you need for rover maintenance. The higher the complexity of the part, the more time it takes to print it. Try to complete your orders by replacing the smallest components possible, since it's a more economical approach. Remember that printing requires resources. You can obtain more resources by completing quests. What's this thing? The crusher. With the help of the crusher, you can recycle bad parts and recover some of the resources. The more a part is damaged, the fewer resources can be recovered. And the workbench. Use the workbench to find out which components of sets are damaged so you can easily replace them. At this workbench, you can also clean the dirty parts. Remember that you can't analyze and repair parts which are dirty. Keep in mind that you don't always have to 3D print specific set components. If you want to avoid too much work, you can always print an entire set, but this is, of course, a much more expensive solution. Perfect. So, quest. Keypad 7. There we go. Welcome to the Order Selector view. Here you can find all orders our colony receives. The orders come from various companies, which means your rewards and objectives might differ depending on a company you choose to provide your service to. As usual in the world of engineering, some orders are complex, and there are ones that are even more complex. Minimum requirements sorts the complexity levels of orders accordingly. That should be what? Complex levels of orders accordingly to your experience. Thanks to that, you never start an order you can't complete. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be accordingly. According to your level of orders according to your experience. Thanks to that, you can never start an order that you can't complete. Once you have succeeded a task, all the important information you need is displayed on the right side of the screen. Each order is a small note that informs you what the problem might be, but keep in mind that this is just loose insight from the ordering company. In addition, there is also information on how many resources you can get for completing the order you've selected. Our engineers always do preliminary analysis of the order, so sometimes they might leave a clue of what needs to be replaced. Alright, so let's grab Sojourner. I have done the tutorial, so I know what to do for this part. Client notes, this is going to be easy. Everything seems fine except for one wheel. Can you be so nice and find out what caused the problem? There we go, Quest View. This tab is the central point of the game. Here you can find all information about your task. The rewards box contains information about resources and experience, which you can get for completing a task. The summary box contains information about how much money you have spent. Except for the tutorial missions, you can finish orders without repairing the rovers. The only rule is that they cannot be lacking any parts. However, we do not recommend this method as it might backfire and you'll have to bear the consequences. Tabs. Let's talk about the tabs on the right. Okay. In the missing parts tab, I see. They're talking about this window right here, I think. In the missing parts tab, you can see all the parts that you detach from the rover that are currently being repaired. Remember that you can't finish the task before you attach all the missing parts back. Tasks here, you can find all the information regarding your current tasks. Preliminary analysis, this is the same tab that you've already seen in the quest selector. Yes, missing parts are right there. Yeah, okay. So, let's resume. Now, prepare for work. Each rover is transported in a special metal container to prevent damage during the transport. Your first task in every order is to place this container on the lift. They unpack automatically. All right, it's right. Okay, it's right there. Let's do this. It only comes with Snake to begin with? Oh well. I have played a little, so I do know Snake was here. Alright. Numpad 4. Oh, it has to be shift. What? Come on, go down. Come on, what's going on with the controls? Oh. Okay, it's saying shift keypad over there, but on here up the top left, I can't put my mouse up there. At the top left, it's enter. That makes more sense. There we go. Alright, now let's go over here and fix this little robot. And analysis is... Here we go. Rover repairing. When you click on a vehicle on the lift and you enter the repairing view, during the repairs you'll be using 3 different modes: assembly, disassembly, analytics. You can switch between them using 1, 2, 3. Note you don't have to repairing view to do that. Alright. In the disassembly mode, you can remove parts from rovers. The removed parts go directly into the warehouse. Access it through the warehouse tab in the tablet. In the assembly mode, you can attach the parts you have in your warehouse to rovers. The lacking parts appear slightly transparent. Analysis mode. You can analyze parts and decide which parts might need replacement. The analyzed parts are a different color than not analyzed. White is not, orange is dirty, green perfectly, yellow is acceptable, red is it requires immediate. When a part is dirty, you can't analyze it. In that situation, you have to remove it and clean it first. Mode indicator. Okay, that just does. Yeah, so. Alright, why isn't the mode indicator switching around? Oh, keypad 5. There we go. And here we go. And, alright. Yeah, let's remove these screws. We're just replacing a tire here. Alright, now that you have a damaged part, you have to print a new one. We've just unlocked the 3D printer for you, and the printing is done. Okay. 3D printer is right here. 30 seconds. Whoops. Oh, I see what I might have to change this thing up a little. Alright. And we screw them in. Nope, it's a screw. Don't want to do that. To be honest, I kind of hate that noise. Alright, I think that's it. The RC connector, the last thing to do is resetting the ECU. You have to do that using the ECU configurator you've seen before. That device connects with rovers via a special connector that you have to plug in first. Some important things you need to know. You can plug the connector in only if no parts of the rover are missing, otherwise you will not see it. You can't disassemble the rover while the connector is in the rover, so always do it at the very end. If you configure the drivers and disconnect connector, then drivers will restart and you'll have to start again. Plugging the connector. In order to stick the connector into the rover, exit the repairing view and press 2 for assembly mode. If everything is fine, you should be able to stick it without any problems. To disconnect the connector, press 1 for the assembly mode. Remember, you must be out of repairing view. Alright. Alright, I guess we're going over here now. Oh, is this one of the... What kind of mini game is this? On this screen, you can reset the rover's systems. The task is to create a path from the battery to the output. This doesn't seem appropriate. Well, not appropriate, but it doesn't seem accurate. Your task is to create a path from the battery to the output. That seems fair. When you click at the blank tile, the inventory panel on the left will display all of the available pieces for that place. Then you just click on the block in the inventory panel and it will be placed automatically. Red and green spots are supposed to be filled with special tiles that either add or subtract voltage. To safety reset the system, you have to reach the target voltage as shown in the top right corner of the screen. Alright, we need 8 voltage. So what do we have? Oops. Oops. Ah. Alright, so that's it. So now what do we do? Okay, we need 8. Yeah, that puts us at... Oh, okay. I wasn't doing the math. I was just kind of randomly clicking around, but I see. Okay, it doesn't up the voltage it lists is from here out. So if you want to get it right, you have to start in the center and work your way out. Okay, that makes sense. Finish orders. Congratulations, you have just finished your first order. Now the only thing you have to do is go to your tablet and select the Finish Order button, and the job is done. We don't recommend finishing orders without repairing the rover, and for your own sake, this option is blocked in the tutorial mission. Complete. Bam! Quest summary. Here you can see a summary of the quest you just completed. In the task box, you can see how many experience points you have gained from each part of the task. That is a bonus experience. If you complete each step correctly, you will additionally get experience points and resources, which you have seen in order description before. In the damaged parts box, you can see parts which were damaged. You always have to repair all of them to get all the rewards. If you do something wrong, the box displays what you have missed. Alright. The wheel you replaced the last time oh, they're sending it right back. Just find that the Sojourner seems to have more problems than we previously assumed. Or for yourself, the wheel issue, that bearings must have sustained damage, which caused it to deteriorate much quicker. Since you already have experience with the Sojourner, can you please take a look at it once again? This time it's paid extra. Alright. Restarting orders. It's time for the test. During that order, you have to use everything you have just learned and repair the rover on your own. Don't worry, if something goes wrong, you can always restart your order's progress. All you have to do is click on the Restart Order button. This operation resets your game to the state from the beginning of the order. Sometimes it might occur necessary to start with a clean slate. Be careful nonetheless, this operation cannot be undone. Alright. If you got some parts you no longer need, you can destroy them in the crusher. We have just unlocked it for you. When you are destroying parts via the crusher, you'll get some resources in return. Okay, we knew that already. Alright, let's head over to the crusher and do it. I kind of want to check the scale, the Sojourner. I want to see if the scale is off or not. Judging by the size of this bed, I assume the drones get a lot bigger. So we'll see. There. There we go. Alright, so this looks like... interesting. I want to analyze everything to see if I can... Alright, let's have a look again at the tablet. I guess they want... It looks like they want us to fix that same wheel, so... There we go. That's the broken part. Okay. Are you not going to let me change the angle on that? I can't see that screw coming out. Alright. We have the parts. Let's go print them. Well, print the replacements. Oh boy. Alright, never mind. What are we looking for in particular? Uh, bearing and bearing cover B. Okay. Why aren't these in alphabetical order? Oh, bearing. Bearing covering B. And just plain old bearing. That should do it. Hopefully I did that right. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. Beware of meteor showers. Mudo app get installed. Mudo app get install Pong. Oh, I need to write this down because there's no way I'm going to be able to remember that off the top of my head. I'm going to try that. Mudo app get install Pong. That's not how I spell Pong. I spelled it ping. Okay. Before we do anything else, I want to test this. Terminal. So, mudo apt-get install Pong. Did I do that right? Mudo apt-get install Pong. Oh, there it goes. Did we install Pong? Oh, I just got an achievement called I Got Retro. Oh, yeah, I got Pong. Yeah, this... oh, boy. I may have got an... Oh. Ah, 3 hearts. My heart score is 100 points. Come on. Ah, okay, that's enough. Let's continue on with the, let's continue on with the actual, rover. Okay. See my awful Pong skills in action. There we go. Hopefully they don't want us to replace the wheel as well. And that should be it for this guy, I think. Alright, let's reset this baby. Oh, this is a new one. Oh, that's an issue. How am I going to do this? Can I rotate these? No. So I want to go up and around like that. Nope, wrong one. That one. Beautiful. Now here we want a total voltage of 5. And we've got, let's go 6 here. And we'll put a -1 there. Perfect. And we will shall, that, oops, wrong button. That should be it. Did I not restart the drivers? Oh, don't tell me I have to do that again. At least it's the exact same thing. Alright, do I have to leave it plugged in when I go to complete? Yeah, oh, okay, I have to leave it plugged in when I go to complete. Okay. Gained experience. Perfect. Repair the rover, restart the drivers. Ooh, spirits next. Bigger toy. So, I'm going to end the episode here. Actually, I will see you guys in the next one where we will start working on spirit. Bye.